Welcome back to the show. Time to go to the WWE and time to review the Royal Rumble, which took place this past Sunday at Madison Square Garden in New York City. Now, the first match on the show was Ric Flair against MVP. Now, I knew in my mind of the four non-Royal Rumble matches, this one was not going to be the best one. Flair really tried his best, no doubt, and MVP was hanging with him through and through. I thought the story of MVP thinking he had the 3 count on Flair, and then after that, I thought that was somewhat of a good story during the match, but it really didn't get the fans into it, and Ric Flair got the win with a figure 4 leg lock, a traditional way. Could very well have been Ric Flair's last match in Madison Square Garden. Then they introduced the newest member of the WWE announce team, Mike Adamle. And for those of you who don't know who Mike Adamle was, he was the host of American Gladiators. I still wish that he was the host of American Gladiators. No disrespect to Layla Ali or Hulk Hogan, but Mike Adamle and Larry Zonka, come on, that was the team. So then after he talks about Chris Jericho and JBL, that match is next. And it wasn't that bad of a match. I was hoping for a little bit better myself. But I thought the ending was very good. I thought it proved the point that, that feud was not over. And I really am going to like this program. I think these two guys are two very good men on the mic. And, I want to see how this ends. I really do, but JBL got the win by DQ, and Jericho, he had terrible bleeding. It was the worst bleeding I'd ever seen Y2J bleed in his career that I've ever seen. So then after that, the World Heavyweight title on the line, Edge against Rey Mysterio. Early on in the match, the ref kicked out the X-Major brothers. I don't really remember their names, so don't be on my ass for that, but, after that, it slowly started to get good by the end of the match. This was, according to the Dirty White Boy, the best match of the night. I don't think so, but that's just my opinion. I'll tell you the best match later. But I felt the ending was very good. The way that Vicky Guerrero got up from the wheelchair, helping her man win the match. And it proves in story-wise how Vicky does not need the wheelchair anymore, and how maybe the last couple of weeks had been all a ruse. But Edge, with a fantastic spear, I think the best spear he's done to date, getting the win and remaining the World Heavyweight Champion. Then, Randy Orton against Jeff Hardy. Sorry. Hardy, they sound alike. Did it live up to the hype of, what they had been producing the last couple of weeks? It really didn't, but it was a good match. Both brought their game. It wasn't their best that night, but they brought their game. And Randy, it was a clean win. Randy Orton with a clean win, and it was a very unique, innovative way to end that match. Randy Orton still the WWE Champion. Jeff Hardy getting a standing ovation after the match. And then it was time for the Royal Rumble match. Now, they got Michael Buffer to come out to explain the rules and introduce the first 2 guys. So I have the list here. And I'm only going to read... Well, no, I am going to read all 30. So this is in order from 1 to 30, the guys who went in. Undertaker 1, Shawn Michaels 2, Santino Marella 3, Great Khali 4, Hardcore Holly 5, John Morrison 6, Tommy Dreamer 7, Batista 8, Hornswoggle 9, Chuck Palumbo 10, Jamie Noble 11, CM Punk 12, Cody Rhodes 13, Umaga 14, Snitsky 15, The Miz 16, Shelton Benjamin 17, Jimmy Snuka 18, Roddy Piper 19, Kane 20, Carlito 21, Mick Foley 22, Mr. Kennedy 23, Big Daddy V 24, Mark Henry 25, Chavo Guerrero 26, Finlay, who would have been the 27th man, but got disqualified, and I'll bash that in a moment. Elijah Burke, 28, Triple H, 29, and John Cena was number 30, and I'll also get to that in a moment. Some other stats: The Undertaker had 3 eliminations, Batista had 4 eliminations, Triple H had 6 eliminations, which was the most of any competitor that was in the Royal Rumble. John Cena also had 4. Hornswoggle had 1. Kane had 2. Now that's really the list right there. Michaels had 2 as well. Pardon me. As far as statistics go, that was it. John Cena got the win. 51 minutes, 29 seconds was the time of the Royal Rumble match. Now, a couple of things I want to say about that match. Number 1, why is Chavo Guerrero in the Royal Rumble match? He's the ECW World Champion. I thought whoever won the Royal Rumble got to choose which of the 3 titles they would want to go for, WWE World or ECW title. Why is the ECW Champion in the Royal Rumble match? You're making the ECW Championship look like a secondary title, like the Intercontinental title or the US title. Makes no sense at all. I do not like it. I'm not saying I don't like Chavo, but I don't like the ECW Champion being in the Royal Rumble. My other complaint is this. Finlay jumps the gun, has a shillelagh, and then they say he's disqualified. First off, Rick Rude 18 years ago jumped the gun in the 1990 Royal Rumble, and they didn't disqualify him. Oh no, he's ravishing Rick Rude. And then you disqualify Finlay for using the shillelagh? Hello, did any of these guys watch the 2001 Royal Rumble where they were using the trash cans and the lids and the canes and the guitars and the chair shots? If you had disqualified everyone who had been in that Royal Rumble, the 2001 Royal Rumble would still be going on 7 years later. Jesus Christmas. But, you know, the whole thing with Hornswoggle and Finlay, it did prove a point in that. But, you know, some people are arguing, well, Finlay or Hornswoggle never got eliminated, so the Royal Rumble should still continue. Well, if that's the case, then there got to be like 2 or 3 other Royal Rumbles that should still be going on years after. So just let that one go. Let Hornswoggle go. But don't let the whole situation with Finlay go. But then, John Cena coming out at number 30. I'm going to say this as a wrestling fan. Not as a John Cena. I'm not the biggest John Cena fan. But when his music played, it was as if the New York Rangers had just won the Stanley Cup. Madison Square Garden. If you haven't seen it, Madison Square Garden blew up. And it wasn't, and it was a good point from Wiggly. The crowd was, the reaction in that crowd was not because of John Cena. It was just the surprise of who was number 30. I mean, I've been watching wrestling, I'll admit this, for almost 20 years, folks. And I've seen a lot of matches take place in Madison Square Garden. I have never in my life seen Madison Square Garden blow up like that. I've never seen it blow up like that. And I said, I texted a friend of mine, you know, just the crowd reaction alone is what makes me love wrestling. It just was. It was an unbelievable event. Royal Rumble's going to get a thumbs up from me. Real quick, the No Way Out report. It is February the 17th. 3 matches right now. John Cena against Randy Orton for the WWE title. And at some point in time, I'll complain about that as well. The Elimination Chamber, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Jeff Hardy, Umaga, Chris Jericho, JBL. Winner gets a shot at the WWE title at WrestleMania. And Ric Flair against Mr. Kennedy. When I come back, TNA and